Gentlemen, you don't have enough talent to win on talent alone.
Hello and welcome to the Untitled Podcast. I am your host, Adam Hess, and with me, as always, my co-host and the man who could never match his underwear to his shoes is Mike Regan. Mike, how are you doing today?
How dare you? I need to do laundry. I told you that in confidence that my boxers don't match today.
What do you think is more upsetting to our fan base? When your boxers don't match your shoes, or when we run a live stream playing NFL Blitz and I forget to include an audio channel for the game the entire time?
I don't know. It's a tough call.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but in retrospect, I found out that I may have forgotten to include any game audio in our live stream of NFL Blitz on Friday.
Oh, rookie mistake. It's all right. We'll get him next time.
Yeah, it's very Cam Ward of me, you know, making it football relevant. See, because we're a football podcast, Mike.
Oh, we are?
Brought to you by the same people who wrote such great articles as the NHL hockey system brought to you, or hockey season brought to you by Letterkenny quotes. We are talent alone. We are here to talk about football. Mike, week 4 is in the books for you. Week 4 and college football week 5 are in the books. For some people, Premier League week 4, college football week 5, and NFL football week 4 are in the books. And for some people more, the MLB season, NFL season week 4, college football week 5, and Premier League season week 4 are all in the books. And if you wanted to power rank those, Mike, by how much of an impact you think they'll have on your life going forward, how high would the MLB playoffs rank?
Third, I guess.
Ahead of Premier League, but behind everything else?
Yeah, because the only difference is I constantly see, like, in my algorithm, because it's so sports heavy, I constantly see stuff about MLB news and where teams finished and teams that botched it and didn't make the playoffs. Yeah, but I see nothing about Premier League soccer.
Who you got? Who you got in the MLB playoffs, Mike?
I don't really. I'm just gonna go ahead and say the Dodgers.
Ooh, going with a team playing in the wild card, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe they're not playing in the wild card. I don't really know how the baseball playoffs work. I know I saw like the bracket and that the Brewers have a bye. And the only reason I remember that is because the Brewers logo looks fucking stupid.
Yeah, I like that the first round of the. I haven't watched baseball in so long, so I'm probably gonna butcher this if it's accurate. But I know the first round isn't like they don't do 7-game series right out of the gate.
Yeah.
I like that.
Do I like that? You know what's weird is the WNBA doesn't do 7-game series until their finals.
Yeah.
It's the only one, the 7-game series. Should the NFL switch to that, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
A 7-game football series?
I remember when I was a kid, I once asked my dad like why the NFL doesn't do like series, like like hockey does, basketball, etc. And he was like, because they would die. I was like, oh, okay.
What is your dad like? What's your dad's second sport? Like, if his first sport, I assume his first sport's NFL football.
It's a tie with him between hockey and football.
Okay.
NFL, and then I'd say his second would be college, which he only like. He's a huge Notre Dame fan, so that's usually like the center of his college football talk.
How plugged in is your dad to like the goings on in football?
Pretty well. I mean, yeah, I think he's pretty well.
Like, does your dad have like Cam Ward takes?
No.
In this day and age. You watch football with someone who doesn't have like fucking Ozzie Tripolo
hot takes
on the Chicago Bears takes.
On Ozzie Tripolo, former Boston College offensive tackle.
Do your eyes just glaze over whenever you hear a player's name and the database just starts auto-playing what college he played for and you don't even realize you're doing it?
Yeah. I will power rank up top though. Dear God, college football this week was insane. It was the best Saturday so far. It'd be tough to top this Saturday.
You wanna give me the lowdown?
Yeah, we had teams. We had a bunch of big matchups. We saw it obviously kicked off Friday night. Florida State gets upset on the road at UVA in double overtime. We got teams 3, 4, and 5 in the AP poll all went down. Georgia lost at home. Ole Miss beat LSU, and Oregon went into Happy Valley in a whiteout and beat them in double overtime as well. Had a bunch of other close calls, some really good performances. It was a fun week. It's always fun when like the big marquee headline games lived up to the hype.
Yeah, I hear that everyone's really high on Oregon and Alabama now.
Yeah. Shit. Even like the other games, a little lower down, but like Tennessee, number 15 Tennessee went to Mississippi State. That one went all the way. They eventually won in overtime. Georgia Tech had to come from behind to beat Wake Forest in overtime. So it got pretty wild. Yeah, I'm super high on coming out of this week. The team that I'm probably the highest on. Well, I'm still super high on Ohio State. I think they're hands down best team in the country right now. And then, like, hands down, my number 2 is Oregon. Dante Moore is something special, and that team is just so good. Dan Lanning's such a phenomenal coach.
Yeah, you've turned me into a Dan Lanning's guy just from editing the nationwide hit weekly article on Saturday.
Yeah, he got interviewed on the field after the game, and he's so ramped up. Like you would have thought this dude, like he's doing like these things with his face that you're kind of like, is that guy on coke right now? Like he's so amped up while doing this interview, and he said, I might mess up the quote slightly, but he said like he told his team, he's like, it's all about the cuts. It's all about the cuts. 1,000 cuts, you got to take it. You just got to. He's like up until the final cut, the jugular, and that's what that was right there. I was like, oh shit.
Have you seen one battle after another yet?
No, I'm gonna get tickets. Go see it. Tomorrow or Wednesday, depending on the time I can get, because we record Wednesdays.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we record Wednesdays. Just so you know, normally we do streams on Fridays. I say normally. We've done them twice now. I am booked this Friday when we normally do a stream, so you're also free then to go see it. But whenever you get tickets, we'll probably discuss a time around that to do a live stream this week to stay consistent. As consistency is key, Mike, and we are consistent in our coverage of the NFL on Monday afternoons, except for last week where Mike still owes me $50.
Shit, that's right. I'm meaning to ask you. I usually is Zelle okay? Can I Zelle you the 50?
Hey, Zeller Venmo me. It doesn't matter. I mean, it's going from my bank account directly into the Trump re-election campaign.
Oh no!
Under your name, so whatever makes it fastest, be able to donate it to Donald Trump's re-election campaign under your name.
If losing money wasn't enough, you've now made me feel really terrible about missing podcasts because I'm affecting the entire world.
Yeah, that $50 is going to cause him to get elected for his 3rd term.
Yeah.
What do you think it's like to go on a first date with RFK? Like, I just think about this because obviously he's married to Larry David's fake wife from the first few seasons of Curb Your Enthusiasm. Like, your first date with RFK. Do you sit down somewhere and they bring out water and he immediately tips it upside down on the ground and he goes, can't drink that, might have fluoride in it?
Probably. He probably takes out his own jug of water from like a random ditch behind his house. This water is actually packed with nutrients that are good for you.
There's just snails in it.
Yeah.
Man, this conversation has the potential to spiral away at the way our off-season podcasts do, but we're going to stay on track here, Mike, and we're going to start off bright and early with a concept that we did. Some people have claimed too often a couple seasons ago. Weekly awards. So we haven't done this gimmick yet this year, but oh boy, is it a classic Talent Alone gimmick, and that is weekly awards. Some would say the original Talent Alone gimmick. That or favorite, least favorite, overrated, underrated. I would say those are our 2 claims to fame. Are either handing out made-up awards, no one's done it before us, or favorite, least favorite, overrated, underrated.
Yeah, we came up with that. We trademarked it.
Yeah. We should start printing shirts that just say FLOU on them. Could we do that? Okay, hear me out. Could we do that with the Puck Soup logo under it, but just replace Puck Soup with Talent Alone?
The Puck Soup logo is pretty generic, so I feel like there's no way they took the time to like trademark that. So I feel like we got it. I feel like we could do it.
They don't even take the time to make a good podcast, Mike.
Oh shit.
The great thing about having a low internet footprint right now is that I can make fun of fucking anyone and it doesn't matter. I can call out Bill Simmons again. I'll fucking fist fight Bill Simmons.
And there's really no downside because on the upside, it does get to these people's ears and they, address it publicly. Boom. That's publicity for us. Thanks for mentioning us, pal.
Did I ever tell you about the headline on ESPN about the Italian rapper?
Yeah. Maybe.
It was that an Italian rapper said Yannick Sinner had a Nazi accent. It was like a line from one of his songs. And I didn't hear the song, didn't hear the original line. I just saw the headline that this Italian rapper apologized about it.
Oh.
And my two instant thoughts were, one, this might be a genius marketing scheme because no one had any idea this happened until he apologized. It's very Streisand effect. So if he's trying to get views, great job. Two, European rap is so fucking soft. Like, seriously? Yeah. That's what you're getting upset about? I've made this joke a lot of times, so my apologies if I've already made it in some of our content. But we had a rapper call another rapper a pedophile with no evidence, and as a reward, we gave him a Grammy and a halftime show in the Super Bowl. And this guy says Yannick Sinner has a Nazi accent and has to fucking apologize about it?
Soft.
We have people killing each other because of rap lyrics.
We go hard in the USA.
Europe just can't hang with American rap. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm. How do you think we won the Revolutionary War?
Rap. It's all
rap battle.
That's if you want evidence of it, go see historically accurate Hamilton.
Yep.
I don't know how we got off on this topic, but
Speaking of Hamilton.
Speaking of Hamilton, you got a Hamilton-based award by any chance, Mike?
No.
Maybe for the most injured defense in the NFL. Maybe for the most underperforming defense in the NFL.
Like you have an award.
I don't. But the Baltimore Ravens win our hey, there's a guy on this team named Hamilton, and I want to talk about how bad the Ravens defense is award.
Mm-hmm.
Tons of injuries. Matabike injured. They had Roquan Smith go out of this game. They are borderline on their last leg defensively, but they allowed 37 points to the Chiefs, 38 points to the Lions, and 41 points to the Bills. Mike, what does that tell you?
Their defense is not good.
It tells me their defense is improving very slowly, and by week 17, they're going to be allowing under 25 points a game at this rate.
That's
pretty good.
Hope.
That's not bad for me.
That's not bad for you.
So they allowed 270 passing yards, 118 rushing yards on top of that, including Mike, a sick -3 yards to Gardner Minshew.
Nice. I mean, I was gonna say, they're banged up right now, but I think whatever excuses you want to make for the Ravens, go for it. But I was frustrated because I was like, all right, thanks a lot, Baltimore. Thanks. You allowed the Chiefs to get back up. You gave them a lot of life this season. I know the mental aspect of sports is very huge, and I feel like if you could have locked them down and beat them up there, that can carry over. And Xavier Worthy came out and was a playmaker and was a huge spark for that offense. Patrick Mahomes threw 4 touchdowns, looked like the old Patty Ice, I guess. I don't know.
Pat.
Yeah, the old patty cakes, as we call them. Still didn't throw a single. He did throw 4 passes, completed 1 past 20 yards. So that might still be a thing. But so congratulations, Baltimore, for screwing the rest of us, because now KC is feeling themselves again.
Do you want to guess the only 3 teams in the NFL right now allowing positive EPA per rush and positive EPA per dropback?
I'm going to say the Ravens.
Ravens are correct. Otherwise, it'd be really weird if they weren't. If I just brought that up out of the blue here, I was like, actually, no, not the Ravens. While we're talking about the Ravens, it's other teams.
I feel like the Bills are allowing a positive EPA per rush. I'm not sure about dropback though.
Absolutely nailed it. They're allowing a positive EPA per rush and a negative EPA per dropback.
Yeah, that's that there is props to McDermott, since he has a defensive back coaching background, and that's what he played as a player. Positive on both. I'm going to also say I'm struggling on this. This should be easy. Cowboys, obviously. That was a dumb one.
Cowboys were until yesterday, where they are now allowing a negative EPA per rush.
Panthers?
Panthers are allowing a negative EPA per rush, about the same as the Cowboys.
Wow.
I'll give you a hint.
Yeah.
One of these teams has not played yet this week.
Oh, Bengals.
No.
Really?
Bengals are just Dolphins, correct.
Okay.
The Bengals are allowing just a negative EPA per dropback, so they're barely not on this list. And the final team, Mike, my favorite team in the NFL.
Commies?
Tennessee Titans.
Okay. See, I was gonna guess Tennessee, like an 0-4 team. You'd obviously would think that might be a good place to start, but I feel like they haven't. Like they didn't get blown out week 1. They didn't get like blown out. I mean, 26 points, but they didn't get like absolutely like people aren't dropping 40 burgers on them. So I wasn't sure.
It's one of those things that's the big difference between success rate and EPA, because the Titans' success rate on dropbacks is much better than their EPA, because they get a lot of sacks, but if they don't get a sack, they allow a lot of yards per pass.
Gotcha.
Same thing with their rush. Their rushing success rate allowed 41.8%, about just under league average, maybe even a little bit above league average, to be honest with you. But they're allowing a positive EPA per rush. It's the difference between EPA and success rate. For those of you at home, not big fans of advanced analytics, success rate is your ability to stay on schedule and in front of the sticks. EPA is how many expected points you add per attempt. With, if you have a play that every time you run it, it adds 7 or 6 points, it would have an EPA of 6. And EPA doesn't account for explosives very well, whereas success rate does. So there you go. There's our roundabout way of discussing that. But Mike, back to the Ravens. They are now down potentially Lamar Jackson. Mbike Matabuke is now out for the season, and next week they are playing the deadly Houston Texans, who have now finally won a game.
Are they at home or on the road?
At home. So they got Texans, Rams, Bears, Dolphins, Vikings, Browns, and Jets as their next 6 games.
Yeah, that Rams game should be tough. Houston, I mean, I don't know. Houston's defense has actually been playing pretty well this year, and their offense found some traction, albeit it was against the Titans. So who knows? I mean, it is important to always keep in mind, and we've mentioned this before, and this isn't even just a Harbaugh-Lamar era thing. I feel like even if you go back to Harbaugh-Flacco eras, like I think it's just a John Harbaugh team thing. They always come out of the gate slow the first 4 weeks.
Yeah, they come out. They're always slow. I mean, it feels like after 4 weeks they're always 2-2, or I mean, rarely 1-3. That's pretty unusual. But 3 of their first 4 games were against the Bills, Lions, and Chiefs. Now they are supposed to be a Super Bowl contender, and they lost all 3 of those games. Does that have you concerned at all if you are a Raven?
If I'm like the Bird or a Raven fan,
like the poem.
The poem. Yeah, I'd be. I mean, it definitely is concerning. I guess there's an argument to be made. Like early in the season, you lose to like a team that's worse than you. You're like, oh, you started slow. We slipped on a banana peel. You're losing to the best teams in the league. It does make you question like how well do we really stack up to these guys? I mean, on paper, you look at the team and you're like, okay, yeah, but injuries and just execution are killing them right now.
Yeah, they're down one of their 2 starting safeties, one of their 2 starting linebackers, Broderick Washington Jr. as their defensive tackle. Kyle Van Noy was out. Travis Jones, another defensive lineman. Lamar now has a hamstring injury. Nate Wiggins went to the locker room on a cart. Marlon Humphreys is going to miss a couple of weeks. As we just said, Matabuke is going to be out the rest of the season. Roquan Smith also had a pretty bad hamstring pull during the game.
Yeah, I think
they're in the short list for most injured team. They're up there with, right now, somehow San Francisco again. The Commies have a lot of games lost to injury right now.
They took the flyer on the, high production, small school, strong Senior Bowl, Mike Green, and he has not looked good. And then
as opposed to Ezerico, who came in for Dallas last night and immediately looked like the most impactful player on the field.
Yeah, and I gotta say, if there's one part of that group that I'm yeah, the edge rushing questionable. I might be I could be off base, but I'm kind of like disappointed in their linebacker play so far this year.
Just because you're a big Roquan Smith guy?
I am a Roquan Smith guy now. I just feel like they're not having that same impact that you'd want.
Yeah, I feel like for years they had the great combination of Roquan Smith and then who was their other fucking guy? Patrick Queen.
Mm-hmm.
And now Patrick Queen's gone, and they're still looking for that second linebacker slot.
Yeah.
But Mike, that's enough talk about that. Do you have an award to hand out?
Yeah, I do. Let's go ahead and hand out. This is the We Needed a Spark Award.
Mm-hmm.
Goes to struggling offenses. Sometimes coaches are like, yeah, we just needed a spark, and that goes to Woody Marks, the Houston Texans. Whose
Can I interrupt before you start handing out, like you start listing off stats?
Yeah.
In our redraft league, Woody Marks is on waivers right now.
Grab him.
What do you think the winning bid? Because we play Fab in that league. What do you think the winning bid for Woody Marks is going to be?
A lot of people in our league, not me, have been smart about not overspending and jumping to get the people they want early in the year. But I think this could be one of the highly contested ones. I think it's definitely going to be a double-digit Fab.
Yeah, you think it's going to be at least $11 there, Mike?
I would say 20.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was in the mid-30s.
Damn, that's 30% of what you have on the year.
Yeah, my thought on that is always like there's going to be one or two league winners that you can get on waivers. So those are the guys you should spend most of your Fab on.
Yeah.
And quietly after yesterday, I'm kind of thinking Woody Marks might be the league winner on waivers this year in fantasy football.
Yeah. So this game was a boring 6-0 at half.
How dare you?
There was no
call this game boring at half.
There was no scoring in the third, and then the Texans came to life and dropped 20 in the fourth. And a huge part of that was Woody Marks, who finished the game 69 yards on the ground, average 4.1 a carry, and a touchdown. He also caught, what was the number? 4 passes for 50 yards and a touchdown. Tack onto that he actually, he only had 6 pass blocks, but of those 6, it gave him the highest PFF grade on the team in pass block at 83.5. And I've seen some clips on Twitter, and there's some very good pass protection by good old Woody Marks. And speaking to your, people are going to want him in fantasy, he outsnapped Nick Chubb. So I think he's taken over that backfield.
Can I tell you my favorite segment of what happened during this game?
What?
The Titans were down like 18-0, maybe 19-0, whatever it was. The Texans would score one more touchdown before the end of the game. The Texans kick off after Jaden Higgins' touchdown. The Titans get the ball. They immediately get a holding penalty, then an illegal use of hands to the face penalty, then an 8-yard sack, and then they throw a check down to Danielle Hunter. I'm sorry, not to Danielle Hunter. That's who got sacked. To Tony Pollard on second and on 1st and 23 for a 5-yard gain.
Nice.
Yeah. We got to fire Brian Callahan, man. One of us has to. Do you have more Woody Marks thoughts?
No, I just think he provided a great spark for that team. And once again, it is the Titans. But gives them a little something going forward, something to hang their head on. Jaden Higgins also catching the tutty is a good sign because they need either him or Noel, the 2 rookie guys, to step up to help this team out.
So Woody Marks, 27.9 fantasy points, 17 carries, 69 yards, 4.1 yards per carry. Mike, you know what we like?
We like 4 or higher.
We like 4 or higher. 1 touchdown, 18-yard as his longest run, which is also good because sometimes you'll get those backs who are over 4.1 who have like a 30 or 40-yard run. 18, yeah, he might have been at 4 or just under 4 if it had not been for the 18-yard run. But that to me is within more of the realm of he was obviously running it well and had one that he broke off for a long run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm in on Woody Marks. I'm in on anyone who can score a couple of touchdowns in their breakout game, and I'm going to probably pay a lot of money to try to get him in fantasy, and then the rest of the year I'll be chasing the high of a 27.9 fantasy points production.
There you go.
Can I bring back a classic Talent Alone award, Mike?
Yeah.
the Brandon Staley Memorial Worst Coaching Decision of the Week award, Mike. Now, for those of you who it's your first season watching football, wild podcast to decide to be the way that you get into this sport. This is, I wouldn't call us like hard mode in the sense of like we're going to talk a lot of advanced stats. I would call us hard mode in the sense that we have like rushing nesting egg doll jokes from previous seasons that have no impact on the current landscape. How many seasons ago was Brandon Staley fired? 2 seasons ago? Was it 3 seasons ago?
This is the second year of Jim Harbaugh, so 2 seasons ago.
Okay, so 2 seasons ago, Brandon Staley was fired, and we still call it the Brandon Staley Memorial Worst Coaching Decision of the Week. But there's only one thing that this can possibly go to for me, Mike, and this is a personal vendetta. Maybe there was worse calls, maybe there was worse decisions, but Matt fucking Eberflus deciding to kick a field goal to just tie the game with 0 seconds left in overtime instead of going for the win is some coward shit. Now, stiff competition. He just barely beat out fucking Brian Schottenheimer kicking a field goal on 4th and goal from the 4 to go up 3 in overtime. But knowing that you could put this game away with a touchdown and running swing passes behind the line of scrimmage repeatedly before kicking a 34-yard field goal to tie the game and go home and say, well, we didn't win and we didn't lose. That is the most annoying bullshit a coach can possibly do. That is it's so indicative of what's wrong with NFL coaches, is that they are way too conservative when the aggressive coaches are the ones who do the best. Guess what? You know who had the highest rate of going for it on 4th down last year? The Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. Now, they might have a cheat code play that if we were handing out the Brandon Staley Memorial Best Coaching Decision of the Week would be running a fake version of that play. But
finally.
Still, kicking a field goal as time expires to walk away with a tie is some coward shit, and I will fist fight Matt LaFleur over it.
There you go. You accidentally called him Matt Eberflus the first time, and I was like, that's really disrespectful to Matt LaFleur.
Especially because Matt Eberflus was the defensive coordinator on the other side of the field from Matt LaFleur.
Okay, so that makes sense. The slip of the tongue there. Yeah, it was really lame. I mean, the more, in a weird way, LaFleur takes a lot of the, wow, that was lame, you coward, because he kicked the field goal as time expired, for the tie.
Brandon McManus kicked the field goal.
Well, you know what I mean. He made the call. They were looking at, like, it was a 4th and long. So it's like they have much lower. Yeah, so it's much lower percentage if they got that, and they would have to get it into the end zone. I mean, it was 4th and short. It wasn't that they were in the red zone. They were deep in there.
4th and 4.
For the Cowboys, yeah. That one was really like, what?
From the 4-yard line.
Yeah.
And part of the LaFleur hate also comes from the fact that all day over the middle of the field, I mean, Malik Hooker goes out of this game. They have a rookie linebacker in there. The Dallas Cowboys were completely outclassed in the middle of the field in the passing game all day. So, 1st and 10 from the 12. What does LaFleur call? A swing pass to Matthew Golden behind the line of scrimmage. Loses 3 yards. 2nd down, calls a bubble screen to Emmanuel Wilson behind the line of scrimmage that's tackled by De'Aaron Bland. 3rd down, finally calls a deep pass to Matthew Golden, and Jordan Love sails it. In no huddle, by the way. And then kicks the field goal. So some of it was also like, wait, why is Matt LaFleur calling bubble screens and swing passes behind the line of scrimmage when the Dallas Cowboys don't have any NFL caliber linebackers or safeties on the field right now?
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense, Mike.
Makes no sense. The crazy part, not to go back and beat up on the Brian Schottenheimer and the Cowboys some more, even though that is fun, is so your options are we go for it and we try to win it. We can win it, put the game away. Or we kick the field goal and we need our defense to make a stop. Okay, well, if you would have just went for the win and didn't get it, the Packers would have been farther down had worse starting position than they did after the kickoff, and you'd been in the same spot. We need our defense to get a stop to have a chance to win this.
Yeah.
So it was like much higher reward with a very similar outcome.
Yeah.
If you didn't, get the touchdown. So that one just made absolutely no sense to me. They're more the reason to blame that we got a tie, in my opinion, than the Packers. But go ahead.
You can hand it out to either one. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Are you finally have you finally come around that I'm right and the NFL needs to adopt college football's overtime rules?
No, I just think that we should follow an adaptation of one of my off-season takes, which that we need to get rid of kicking. Overtime just shouldn't have field goals.
Oh, make it to where you're not allowed to kick field goals.
Yeah, you can punt or you can score a touchdown. No field goals.
That's it. Yeah. That'd work too.
Or maybe something like if we have the field goal post on like a lazy Susan and they spin around in overtime as you try to kick the field goal.
There you go.
And the speed can change. Ooh, there you go. What if you can put 11 players on the field to try to block it, or you could put out 9 players and have one player adjusting the speed of the lazy Susan?
Like a big dial they're cranking on the sideline. There you go.
Yeah. And what player would you have cranking that dial if you're in this game-ending situation, the Dallas Cowboys?
Who's cranking the dial? I think I'm going to have Kenny Clark. You were the big trade acquisition.
Ooh.
All right.
I was going to go George Pickens.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Big game for Georgie P.
Big Georgie P game, which is it's good for you with all your Georgie P stock.
Mainly, I have him on both my fantasy teams somehow.
That's a lot of stock.
Yeah.
Mike, did you want to give out your next award?
Yes, I do. And that is
That's
the
good. That's very good.
This is the Sam Laporta or Brock Bowers award, which goes to rookies who were already like, is he actually the best tight end in the league?
I like how your example of this is 2 guys who had great rookie years and haven't performed as well in their follow-up campaigns. So
Right.
I know who you're about to say, but this is concerning for what's going to happen next year.
Yeah, it is. But that's Tyler Warren, who has continued to have a very good rookie season. This past game, he caught 5 of his 6 targets for 70 yards. He's up to 19 catches for 263. That's 13.8 yards a reception, people. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. He has 2 drops, though. 2 drops. But it's all right. Of his 27 targets, 2 drops. What are you going to do? The other thing that has been impressive about him, and I think it was somewhat of a question mark, even with his massive size, because he's such an offensive tool, there's a slight question mark about his pass block, and he has a 80.5 pass block grade so far this season.
How many yards did you say he has on the year?
263.
Ooh, on pace to be a 1,000-yard receiver.
On pace, baby.
You thought they should take Colson Loveland over him?
I didn't. I was floored. I was floored, some would say, at Loveland going off the board. Before Tyler Warren, it made no sense to me. He felt like one where I feel like it's very common in the draft process. We have so much time to kill after the season ends. Is that guys who all throughout like the NFL season and college football season, there's like a consensus. This guy's the best first one off the board at this position, hands down. And then we have that gap of time before the draft and people start talking themselves into other players. I feel like that was the case here. It was like Tyler Warren, hands down, best tight end in this draft. Then we had all that time and people were like, Colson Loveland guy, though. He might actually be the best tight end in the draft.
You see how he's slower and worse than Tyler Warren?
Yeah, and smaller.
Yeah. Well, we don't know who would be the better better tight end because unfortunately Indianapolis does have an MVP caliber quarterback and Chicago doesn't. That's the difference.
Indianapolis has an MVP caliber quarterback?
Yeah. I don't know if you've heard this guy. Indiana Jones, they call him.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'll tack this one on. I didn't have it written down, but I feel like we can go ahead and give Daniel Jones the cracks are starting to show award.
How many interceptions did he have? Did he just have the one?
He had 2.
He had 2 interceptions, yeah. Daniel
3
Jones.
turnover-worthy plays.
Well,
no
here's
big
the thing.
time throws.
Here's the real thing about Daniel Jones. He had 2 interceptions. You're like, that's bad. That was never Daniel Jones' rap. His rap was fumbles. That guy loves to fumble the ball.
That's true.
So any second now, man, just gonna start dropping balls.
And he did play.
Fuck, that would have been so good if I had that quicker.
He did was like surprisingly good again under pressure. He went 12 of 14 for 181, had a 71.2 pass grade under pressure, which I wouldn't expect. Which is actually makes it a little worse when you consider that both of his interceptions and his 3 turnover-worthy plays all came when his pocket was kept clean.
Yeah, and he threw one really brutal one. Although, you know who had the best pick of the day? Did you see the St. Russell pick?
I was going.
It was a terrible throw by Michael Penix, but St. Russell just Odell Beckham did, just up in the air with one hand.
Yeah, that was good. So was Cole Bishop's. Just saying.
And they also just pointed out that Santos Hill picked off Michael Penix in the national championship game.
Look at that.
Is Falcons Commanders going to be a thing?
Like going forward, like a battle, a little bit of a mini rivalry.
So second time they've played each other in 2 years. So both years of the Jaden Daniels Michael Penix era. Both times it's been a 1-score game that's come down to the end.
Yeah, and I mean this
time it was Mariota, but
yeah, I was gonna say this time it was Mariota, so that's even more surprising.
Yeah, there's a lot of Falcons hype, and I don't have an award for this. Maybe the Let's Pump Our Brakes There, Bud award.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of Falcons hype because they beat the Commanders. Which, first off, didn't we all decide coming into the season that the Commanders were the regression candidate?
Yeah, I feel like that's just based off of, like, I didn't run the numbers, but I feel like that has to be backed up by just data for a team to have the massive jump.
Yeah, they went from playing a
another.
4th place schedule to a 2nd place schedule. Mm-hmm. They had one of the healthiest seasons in the NFL. Like, I get it. It totally makes sense. Like, I'm not bitching and moaning, but like it's a lot of the Falcons are back simply because they didn't lose by 30, but like they also almost lost a game to Marcus Mariota and a defense that is now full of holes amid injuries. They allowed a touchdown to Luke McCaffrey. They allowed Chris Moore to get cooking. Like, let's pump our brakes a little bit on the Atlanta Falcons are fixed train.
Yeah. No, I mean, when you think about it, you went into the last. I feel like the commies organization right now is going, we'll take it. We've been without our starting quarterback, and we're 1-1.
As a commies fan, that I walked out of that going, you know what? Didn't embarrass ourselves. We treated it somewhat like a mini bye week where we had a bunch of players who were questionable right up until game time who didn't play. Lost 7 and a respectable comeback. Mariota had a backbreaking interception that I thought was going to be a free play, and it wasn't. If we walked away from this with anything, it's that Deebo Samuel's still good, and Bill Krosky-Merritt should probably be the number 1 back, and I don't know why Chris Rodriguez is still the number 1 back.
Yeah,
Chris Rodriguez, 7 carries, 59 yards.
Yeah. Don't get that at all.
Including a long of 48 yards, which means he had 6 carries for 11 yards outside of the 48-yard run.
Yeah.
I will Corey or Bill Krosky-Merritt, 7 rushes, 47 yards with a long of 16. Averaged 6.7 yards with only 1 run over 10 yards, whereas Chris Rodriguez had the 48-yard run and 11 yards outside of that. It's a little weird.
I don't have an explanation for that. I will tack on here, and I will give props to the Falcons and give them the about damn time award for their skill position players.
Yeah, if this Drake London thing is for real, I'm with you.
Yeah, Drake London put up, how many catches was that? I can't remember.
8 receptions,
110
yards.
110 yards and a tutty. Bijan was absolute best Bijan mode with 75 on the ground and a touchdown, and then also getting 106 yards on his 4 receptions. Obviously, had the one big 69-yarder, little catch and run there. And then Penix played a lot better. 20-26 for 313, a couple touchdowns. The one pick that was part bad decision by Penix and then part very nice INT from Mike Sandra. I still am frustrated that only 2 passes of 20-plus yards for Penix. 2 attempts. Got 1 for that ended up picking him up 43. So, like to see that a little more. But other than that,
Can I tell you my favorite stat from this game, and then I'll move on to my next award?
Sure.
Oh wait, whose award was last?
I don't know. We've been talking about, I think I've been tacking on awards as games have come up, so I don't know.
Yeah, same. Because I did the Let's Pump the Brakes award, which I didn't have written.
Yeah.
Down. My favorite stat from this: 6 fumbles, 0 lost.
There you go.
That's both teams. Both teams combined for 6 fumbles with 0 fumbles lost.
That means 6 times during this game, there were people at home who jumped out of the recliner and went, "Balls out!
Balls out!" I think our 2 shirts should be the Puck Soup shirt and the Balls Out shirt. Or it could be a Balls Out onesie with just a hole cut in the crotch.
For your balls to actually be out.
Yeah. See? Marketing geniuses here at Talent Alone. And I keep wondering why Michelle Obama won't return my calls. Um, I'll give out an award.
Yeah, go for it.
Screw you. I'm giving it out. The Baker Mayfield Memorial, Bro, You're in Too Many Commercials for How Good of a Player You Are award goes to Travis Hunter.
Baker. Oh, okay.
Listen, Baker Mayfield's earned his commercial spot, same as Josh Allen, who is in a lot of commercials these days, but has earned it. Travis Hunter, man, Mike jokingly texted me that the wide receiver 4 caught a touchdown and it was Travis Hunter.
That wasn't a touchdown. It was just like a nice, like, contested. You had to like go up and get it, 18-yard first down catch or something like that. Wasn't even a tutty. I texted you, I said, "Damn, that nice catch by the Jags wide receiver 4."
In the game, Travis Hunter ended up 3 receptions, 42 yards, including that 28-yard strike you sent me.
Mm-hmm.
He was, in fact, the wide receiver 3 on his own team. They traded multiple picks to move up to draft this guy number 2 overall, and he is still playing less total snaps than players who play one side of the ball.
4 coverage snaps. Guy won the award for the best defensive back. Oh, no, actually, I went to Jahdae Barron. I'm sorry. But point is, the guy won the Heisman as a two-way player. One of those ways is as a corner and 4 coverage snaps. I have a take on this.
Yeah, what's your take?
All right. I guess there's one of 2 possibilities. One, Cohen sees something. Liam sees something where he's like, we got to go slow with this guy. He was great at both positions in college. Right now he's just okay at both positions in the NFL. We have to kind of, train him up before we really are ready to unleash him. The other one I'm leaning towards is that trade up in this draft pick was all ownership and the GM.
Well, here's my question about that, right?
It wasn't Cohen who wanted out and wanted to give that up to go get this guy.
Here's my question about that. Is the GM old enough to use a phone?
No, he texts everything.
Text Goodell.
Yeah, like Shad Khan calls him 4 times. He doesn't answer, and then he just texts him. He's like, "Oh, hey, what's up?"
By the way, you mentioned that Travis Hunter played 4 coverage snaps, correct?
Mm-hmm.
He offset that with only playing 38 snaps on offense, which means that he was not on the field for 30 of their 68 offensive snaps.
Yeah. It makes no sense. I mean, it doesn't.
Played 20 less snaps than Brian Thomas Jr. on offense.
At this point, if you're a Jags fan, it would make you feel better even if they were going against what a lot of people said and they were primarily using him on one side of the field, if they were using him heavily, that would be better than what you're seeing right now.
Yeah. He played 47 total snaps, which puts him 1 snap ahead of backup right tackle Anton Harrison.
Like, this dude is getting out targeted by Brian Thomas Jr. makes sense. So had 7. Travis Hunter, for clarification, had 5 targets, caught 3 of them for 42 yards. He got out targeted by Brian Thomas Jr., who caught 5 of them, 7 targets, 5 catches for 49 yards. And then Brenton Strange had 7 targets, caught 6 for 45 yards.
Well, and then he's on the field for less coverage snaps than Rion Lane the second.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, you have a favorite Ryun Lane the third. You got a favorite Ryun Lane the third memory?
Oh no, the second I do, but the third no, I haven't seen much of him.
Here, $100 on the table. What college did Ryun Lane the third go to? By the way, drafted 2025 in the 6th round.
I have no idea.
Navy. His photo on Wikipedia is him in Navy fatigues.
You do not.
It's not even him in a Jaguars uniform.
You do not see a lot of players in the NFL who went to Navy. Wow.
You do not see a lot of players in the NFL that went to Navy, except for the one that's currently out snapping number 2 overall pick Travis Hunter in covered snaps. And this guy he's in like SoFi commercials, Celsius commercials. He's in the Heisman house.
Yeah. It is one of the weirdest situations in the NFL right now. Now, I will tack on the award of this award is Scoreboard, pal. Scoreboard. and it goes to Robert Saleh, who decided to, throw some shots at my boy Liam Cohen leading up to the game, where in a presser he made a comment about, it was a backhanded compliment where he was like, "Oh, Liam Cohen is good coach, government's in mind," and made a comment that he has a legal sign stealing system.
A great legal sign stealing
Yeah.
system.
And then after the game, they cross paths on the field and were kind of being held back and jawing back and forth. I did see one video of someone who was on the field, and you could hear Liam Cohen saying, "Keep my name out your mouth." I was like, "That's right."
Him?
He didn't smack him, but if they didn't pull him back, he would have. All right, you would have smacked him, right? Because you don't want this smoke, Saleh. You don't want this smoke. You see this Jags team on paper. And my boy got him at 3-1. You don't want this smoke, okay?
They should be leading the league in sacks given up and yards given up on offense. And your boy Robert Saleh just lost a game to him. So,
yeah.
Do you think Liam Cohen was really hoping to cross past Robert Saleh, and so he could drop a line like, "You know why they call me Liam? Because I'm a Liam balls in your mouth, Robert."
Ayo, I randomly like on Twitter, I randomly read a comment on a post and hit like some random person. But the first, under someone who tweeted the clip of them, the very first comment was someone who just tweeted the little it was just the clip of Cohen going, "Duval." And I was like, all right, gotta like that one. Gotta give you a like on that one. Ridiculous.
There is so much to love about Liam Cohen, and it's mostly off the field. Sure, the on the field product has been better than expected. He's gotten the team to 3-1 scoreboard, like you said. I haven't been super impressed with his tenure there because Trevor Lawrence is still a little bit of a pumpkin, and as we've been talking at length about, Travis Hunter doesn't play football, and Brian Thomas is broken too. Worth mentioning.
Yeah,
but all the off-field stuff with Liam Cohen, it's like Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson is one of the best off-the-field guys in the NFL right now, and one of the worst on-the-field guys.
Yeah, as only translated. I mean, it continues to amaze me week by week that Travis Etienne, once again, 124 yards, averaged 6.5 a carry.
Yeah, it turns out that when Liam Cohen showed up, we were like, he's the quarterback whisperer. He's going to fix Trevor Lawrence. And actually, he's the running back whisperer, and he fixed Travis Etienne.
I feel like there's out here. So Etienne's rookie year, he averaged 5.2, right? Last two seasons, 23, 3.8, 2024, 3.7. Currently this year, 6.1. Liam Cohen effect, baby.
Liam Cohen effect. Ready for another award?
Yep.
How about that game happened award?
Okay.
Goes to the New Orleans Saints playing the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, God.
Mike, I vaguely saw that the Saints were hanging around in this game. I couldn't tell you a single thing that happened in this game. I didn't have it on any of the screens. They didn't cut to any highlights. If you told me this game was just simulated in Madden, and it was just Sean McDermott playing against Kellen Moore, I just have to believe you, because I have no evidence that anything else happened in this game.
Well, I can tell you one thing that happened, and it's something that I totally expected to happen, is that, as I called out earlier when we were talking about defenses and their EPAs, was that we couldn't stop the run. Kendre Miller averages 5.9 a carry on us. Spencer Rattler scoots around for 49 yards at 8.2 a clip. Even Alvin Kamara, I don't know why I said even Alvin Kamara, he's a good player, but Alvin Kamara, 4.7. I mean, we can't stop. I went into this game and I knew, I was like, this is going to be annoyingly close because we can't stop the run. And it turned into, it shouldn't have been this, but once again, and this is why it's good to have him, is Josh had to make some Josh plays to keep this from becoming a disaster.
Yeah, 3 total touchdowns from Josh Allen, 2 through the air, 1 on the ground. You say you can't stop the run, but James Cook managed to pull off 117 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah. Oh, we can run on anybody. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we can't stop the run. We can run on anybody. James Cook, it might be, I mean, he's probably on pace to finish the season as the leading rusher in the NFL right now.
How many yards is James Cook up to this season? 401 yards.
I was gonna say, I know he's had he's averaging over 100 a game right now. He's had a touchdown every game. That's one of the most shocking things to me this season, just because It's very common that after a guy gets paid, the production like dips. Not here.
Currently, he's on pace for 1,704 yards.
Mm-hmm.
He had another 378 passing yards, and it's a 2,000 yard from scrimmage guy. If history's any evidence, that means you got to give him Offensive Player of the Year.
I'm not gonna.
What would James Cook have to do to win Offensive Player of the Year? There's no fucking like he could have 2,000 scrimmage yards this year, and he's not winning Offensive Player of the Year.
Oh, he'd have to break what's his face's record, the one that Peterson came up just shy of. Dickerson, I think holds it, right?
I thought you were talking about Michael Strahan's sack record.
Yeah, that'd be impressive if he did that.
We'd have to call him the Travis Hunter of football.
Yeah, that'd be wild. But yeah, like the one thing that like sticks out is it was 21-19, and then we get the ball back and we're driving and it was like a third down and Josh takes off for like a long scramble. And it's like, breaking ankles for a big pickup, and it was like, oh, there's that classic like, shit, this is way too close, Josh save us, and Josh saved us and like got us going. Then Cole Bishop they were driving down the field again, and Cole Bishop had a very nice leaping interception of Spencer Rattler. But I'm not going to say much more about this game because it will turn into me ranting about the Bills and being extremely negative. But so
the 4-0 Bills.
Yeah, I know.
Number one seed in the AFC currently.
One of only two undefeated teams left in the league. First time 4-0 since COVID back in 2020. But when I'm in a situation where it's like been so close so many years now, I just want this goddamn Super Bowl so bad. And so I'm right off the bat, week one, I'm holding them to this standard of crush, kill, destroy, no mercy. When it doesn't happen, I hang on like the little things, the things you can point out. I'm like, that's a concern. That's a concern. That's what sticks out to me, even when we win at this point. So,
yeah, I do the same thing with Jaden, like Jaden Daniels. I'm on a first name basis with him. Like all my friends in my life and my family in my life that are fans of the Washington Commanders are like, Daniels is the truth. Love Jaden Daniels. Just want to watch Jaden Daniels. And I'm like, are we all concerned that his on target rate's down to start the year, and that he's much lower on his success rate as a rusher, and that he's been sailing passes to receivers? However, when he plays, we're undefeated.
Yeah.
I should say, when he plays uninjured, we're undefeated.
Yeah, that's a big part of that.
I got one more award for you, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
The Is He Actually Bad award. And maybe you could split this award into two people involved with potentially the same organization. But I'm going to hand it out to one person here, and that's Chip Kelly.
Ooh.
Is Chip Kelly actually bad, Mike? Like, Chip Kelly failed in the NFL. Like, we can all agree on that, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
He failed as a head coach. He failed as a coordinator. He did not make it. He goes to UCLA for a few years, and he comes back, and we're all like, oh, Pete Carroll and Chip Kelly coming in to save the Raiders. Like, why was Chip Kelly going to be the guy to save the Raiders? And
I don't know.
Like, you could point to Geno Smith doing Geno Smith shit and throwing 3 interceptions, but it took until this week for Ashton Jeanty to get going, and that was because he spent the first 3 weeks not being able to stand in his Michael Myers stance and, like, see the field before the snap. And then suddenly this game, he's able to, like, pop off and really fucking rip off a few runs. Like, what was the reason for that? And who was coaching that? Was it Chip Kelly? Was it the running backs coach?
I don't know. I mean, speaking to the Jeanty thing real quick, about him, like, that was such a NFL, like, oh, can't do that in the pros, kid. Get away with that in college. You can't go standing up straight out here in the pros. The dude's 5'9". Do you think he stood up straight for a reason?
It very much seems like maybe he did.
Yeah. Like, is there a chance he stood up straight to get a better view? I mean, I don't know. I've never played running back, so I don't know if that's actually a thing. But yesterday I was thinking, like, maybe he stood up straight because he just had a better view of, like, the way the defense was set up, and he liked that. And there's like, an idea.
At worst, like, it obviously didn't negatively affect him to do it in college. And so you're fucking things up for no reason besides to be like, that's not how we do it in the NFL, kid.
Yeah. And it was not, for me, it was, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, finish your thought.
I was just going to give props to Jeanty, and, who had obviously 144 yards, the big 69-yard touchdown. Once again, 129 of his yards were after contact.
Yeah.
Which is insane. 3 total touchdowns. for me, it was never. It was never a matter of when is he going to pop up. It was just or not a matter of if he'll eventually get going. It was a matter of when. So it was nice to see it finally happen. But even like that long scamper, for 69, like, one dude gets hands on him like around his legs as he's coming, like getting past like the line of scrimmage. He slips out of that, and as he's going down the sideline, one more player has a shot at him, tries to wrap him up, and the dude's just so strong, lower body. It's like, yeah, my legs aren't going to stop moving just because you get your arms around him. So yeah, now I'm just gushing about Ashton Genty and serving no actual point to the conversation, but I just wanted to give him his props.
But back to the Chip Kelly of it all. Outside of Brock Bowers, every receiver on this team is averaging their most targets between 10 and 19 yards downfield. Geno Smith is averaging 3.06 time to throw and has been pressured 58 times, sacked 12 times. And some of that's Geno Smith, and a lot of that's the offensive line. But I don't know why Chip Kelly isn't scheming up shit because he knows this offensive line is bad, right? Like, he's not blind, and he's been working in the NFL a lot longer than I have because I've never worked in the NFL. But, like, why are we this far into the season, 4 weeks into the season, and Ashton Genty's only had 8 targets?
It worked pretty well when they targeted him. He had 2 receiving touchdowns, so it worked pretty well this week. I mean, I will say one thing. Yes, the Raiders have a god-awful offensive line. I'd say worse in the league, right? Like, maybe the Bengals are the ones who are trying to challenge him for that, but
or the Giants and Andrew Thomas. But yeah, there's a few options, and the Raiders are definitely in the conversation.
The Titans, but those are like the bottom feeders. But still, based on what Chip Kelly was making at Ohio State, I mean, I doubt he's going to be making the same in the NFL because the coaching salaries just aren't the same. But they probably gave him a pretty good penny to take another crack at the NFL, and you'd hope he would be the mind who could like figure out schemes in place to overcome the deficiencies. And meanwhile, I've never been a big Geno Smith believer, but he's playing worse than he was last year in Seattle. He had 15 picks all year last year in Seattle. He's up to 7 through 4 games already.
Yeah, Jacoby Myers has his most targets between 10 and 19 yards, but he's only averaging 30.8% target to reception conversion rate. So 30% of the targets he gets in that range are turning into receptions. I think some of that's because every time Geno Smith's throwing that, he's under duress. Like, I don't know why they're scheming up any plays like that.
I don't think like Chip Kelly's offensive, it didn't translate well his first run. Now I can understand since then we've seen the college game adapt and implement a lot more of NFL stuff. And so I can understand being like, all right, come back to the NFL. Like, now you're ready. It's going to work. It hasn't worked through 4 games at all.
According to my stats, no, it has not.
Yeah. My model says it doesn't work.
Pete Carroll's somewhat in there too. And, maybe this conversation is different if it isn't for the fact that once again, special teams was the most important phase in football this week. 2 weeks in a row. Maybe you could say 4 weeks running with all the fucking field goals. But the game comes down to a Bears blocked field goal as time expired. Which, by the way, Bears fans, not a single one of them believed that there was going to be a blocked field goal there. They thought they had lost because the Bears lose on field goals. They don't win on blocked field goals.
Yeah.
But anyways, Mike, that closes up my awards. Unless you want me to throw out my the most impactful injury of the week award to Joe Alt. Now the Chargers are down their top 2 offensive linemen.
No.
You don't.
You can throw it in. Yeah, I mean, you basically just did.
Yeah.
So.
By the way, while we're talking about to close out the Chip Kelly thing, 25% of the dropbacks are play action, 75% are not. You got Ashton Genty on the fucking field for a reason, right?
Right.
Like that team, maybe with this offensive line and the help you need freezing defensive backs, and maybe to get Brock Bowers going, maybe they should be like 40% play action.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea to kick up the play action. Sorry, I got distracted. I was looking at a number, but yeah.
What number was
that?
That
doesn't
4?
Make any sense. I was trying to see how play action, how many times he did play action in this past game. because like Genty was actually cooking, so you think that would be even a better of a time to, as that game went on, pull out the play action because defenses are accounting for Genty more than they may in a game where he was struggling. So,
By the way, Matt Stafford, behind a better offensive line, 31% play action rate, 5% more play action rate on a guy that also can't really move.
nice.
Just saying. Also, big week for quarterbacks who don't run, running for touchdowns.
Oh, it's
Dak
true.
Prescott and Michael Penix each.
Nice.
Anyways, Mike, you got any awards to close us out on the awards?
Save this one for last because it will tie into our next segment. And this is a mean award. I'm struggling to think of a name, but what is that? What would be a good term for like that guy on defense, that player on defense, that offenses are like that's who we're going after?
Oh, like picking on the smallest kid at the park award or
Yeah,
something like that?
you know, because that goes unfortunately to Max Melton, who has been playing a lot more because of injuries to Garrett Williams and Will Johnson in Arizona. And I said after I watched that game, I was like, I don't know what the PFF grades are, but Max Melton's isn't going to be great. It was a 51.6. Oh no, that wasn't the coverage grade.
Hold on, let me go delete him from my top 5.
Oh, your top 5. Not important. Point is, the grade wasn't good, and the primary reason was when they needed a big catch, they were like, I don't know how Arizona kept letting this happen, but they were like, get Jackson Smith onto Max Melton. And it was 4 catches for 79 yards, all 4 of them first downs. 2 of them were late in the game.
I've never heard someone called JSN Jackson Smith before.
That's true. It was a 51.6 coverage grade total that ended with. But yeah, there was in the second half, in multiple moments, there was 2 big moments, especially the drive to set up that field goal where they were facing third down and they needed it. And both, like, it was just go ball to Jackson Smith and Jigba, who had a step on Max Melton every time.
It is rough out there for our Arizona Cardinals on the injury report. Talk about another team that is having the injury bug bite them bad. Just in their defensive backs, Sean Murphy-Bunting, Starling Thomas, who I don't think was at any point going to be a big name in their secondary, Joey Blount, Garrett Williams, and then of course, Will Johnson, all hurt in this week. Some on IR, some not on IR. But that's a lot of damage to the backfield that now Max Melton has to step up and be the guy.
Yeah.
Against Jackson Smith and Jigba.
What Oh, but yeah, I figured that was a good lead in to our next segment. Cardinals. They'll talk about Team Town Alone, where you get to guess the top 5 PFF grades.
Top 5 PFF grades. As everyone knows, our yearly team talent alone this year was the Arizona Cardinals. Mike demanded them, despite the fact that I kept saying we should go with the Rams.
Hey, remind me. I was having a brain fart when I was putting together the list of the top 5. Is the cutoff you have to play at least 50% of the snaps, or are we doing 40%? 50%. Okay, good. All right, good to go then.
Okay. Number 1, the returning, in my opinion, all-pro quality left tackle, Paris Johnson Jr. That one seems like a gimme.
Yep. He was the delete guy. Number 3 with a 70 or no. Number 4 with the 71.3 grade.
Yeah, that's going to be a gimme. That's probably going to be my first pick off the board in a lot of weeks. He gave up, I believe, 2 pressures, 0 sacks. But Paris Johnson Jr., very good left tackle. Number 2, I have learned, Mike, from our past team talent alone, the Atlanta Falcons, to always pick Calais Campbell. So I shall be picking Calais Campbell.
Yes, number 2 with a 75.3 grade on defense this week.
Sticking on that side of the ball, I'm going with your guy here. I don't feel great about it. I had him at number 5, but Josh Sweat, he forced the fumble, and for some reason also was in coverage on a long pass to the tight end.
No, unfortunately, he didn't. I guess didn't have a great run defense grade, or coverage grade for the one coverage snap he played. So that tanked his PFF grade. He has 62. He did not make the cut.
Number 3 on my list. Hopping back up, switching sides. We call him 10 targets Trey. That's Trey McBride.
Surprisingly, no.
No? Same amount of targets as Marvin Harrison Jr., by the way. They both had 10 targets.
That's right.
Let me tell you about this, about Marvin Harrison Jr. I'm realizing early on in our Cardinals tenure here as the preeminent coverers of Cardinals football. Marvin Harrison Jr. either has a good game or a bad game, and it is entirely separated by his ADOT. If his ADOT is over 11, Marvin Harrison Jr. has a good game. If his ADOT is under 10, Marvin Harrison Jr. is a ghost, and we don't talk about him.
It was 9.9 this week, and he had 6 catches for 66 yards. All of that came in the second half. He had the 1 touchdown, which I've never seen a player look more like relieved for catching that, because it was a nice touchdown catch too. He went up and won a battle and got that ball, which he should. It's what we expected to see him do a lot of when he got drafted. So I still have a lot of Marvin Harrison Jr. stock. I think he just, went through a rough stretch and was in his head.
Hey, how did we not talk about the A.D. Mitchell fumble?
Oh, that's crazy. What is that? I mean, that's like if we wanted to steal the NFL, like the ESPN's NFL Today show or whatever gimmick, Game Time or whatever before, where they used to do Come On Man.
Yeah.
That was a Come On Man moment.
Yeah, fumbles the ball there. And then on the final drive, when the Rams are pushing, they have a third down that or maybe it was on special teams, something. A.D. Mitchell gets called for a holding penalty and gives him 10 extra yards. So if we had picked the Colts with the stink, Adonai Mitchell would not be in my top 5 this week.
No.
My final guess here, Taylor Dimerson.
Yes, nice call. He came in at number 5, the safety, Dadrian?
Dadrian Taylor Dimerson.
Dadrian Taylor Dimerson, who had a 67.9. One of the guys who did not technically start the game.
Yep. I think that for most of the season he's been their dime package and nothing else. With their injuries to the secondary, I think he's going to get more looks. And I in my opinion, he had a pretty good game. On the All-22, they were using him a lot to bracket shaded to the side of the field that Max Milton was covering on, which was probably a good call. But overall, we'll see where he ends up playing. He's a little undersized, so I don't think he'll be a box safety, but they could just use help all over their defensive backs right now.
Yeah. All right.
Who did I miss in the top 5?
Who'd you miss? All right.
Yeah.
Number 1 was nose tackle Dalvin Tomlinson. Had an 82.7 defensive grade. Probably didn't guess him because he only played 54% of their defensive snaps, but he made the cut. Was just over. You got Calais Campbell. Number 3, also on the offensive line, a little Hajalte Froholt. The Froholt, the center. 72.5 offensive grade. Those are the 2 you missed.
It's very, very Atlanta Falcons, where I should just start guessing offensive linemen blindly.
It's just starting to become that, unfortunately.
All right, Mike. With that, we'll be back to cover the Arizona Cardinals next game a little bit later in the week. But with that, how about we move on? I wanted to talk about some people that the season's already over for.
Yes.
So I broke these into 3 tiers. I have the obvious tier, and I have 5 teams in this tier, and I want to get your thoughts on this. Is there anyone? This is the season's obviously over for these guys, and
yes. I was gonna say I just did like the teams I was like season's obviously over for, and I also have 5.
Okay, let's see if we have the same ones. Let's say them at the same time. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Titans, Raiders. I got Browns,
Browns,
Saints. I have the
Panthers.
Giants. I don't have the Panthers.
Oh, you have the Giants. You have the Panthers. Okay,
the Giants.
Interesting.
So let's stop here and talk about the Giants real quick.
Okay.
Jackson Dart goes in, gets a hand injury that they call a head injury, and people thought was a hamstring injury, but he comes back in the game later.
It was really weird because when I watched the play, it looked like his knee kind of awkwardly buckled a little bit.
Yeah.
So I had no idea what it was.
It was a Rorschach test. Everyone who saw that play saw a different injury. They saw the injury they were most scared of.
Yes.
Matt Stafford just is going to be waking him in the middle of the night thinking Jackson Dart hit his thumb on someone's helmet. Comes back in the game after Russ plays awful in relief for him.
What?
And then Malik Neighbors tears his ACL and is done for the season. Andrew Thomas also goes out of the game injured. So now, arguably, this team is down their 2 best offensive players in Andrew Thomas and Malik Neighbors. They have their 2 highlight rookies in Cam Scatabo and Jackson Dart, who Jackson Dart played very well for a team that obviously didn't have any tape on him. We'll see how he plays in a few weeks.
Mhm.
But I've conceded Cam Scatterbo's the truth. That guy's great in pass defense. Yeah, he is in typical white guy fashion. He is a great pass blocker. Very good in short yardage situations. Needs to change his number still. I assume you like the white guy in 44.
It just feels. I feel like it just makes sense.
Yeah, there you go. The reason I have them on, well, yeah, obviously it's over, is because now they're top receiving targets. And mind you, I think Dayball is a very good offensive mind.
Mm-hmm.
And still, I still think that if Dayball was a free agent and Washington didn't have a coach and they hired Dayball, I'd be like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
But the top 2 targets now are going to be Wan'Dale Robinson and what's-his-face, who's Darius Slayton, who's been on the team for 14 years and every year is in a contract negotiation and trade rumors and somehow doesn't get moved. Is there another sport comparison to Darius Slayton? Who is a guy who has spent their entire career with one team, has been in trade rumors every single year, has had contract issues every single year, and yet somehow ends up on the team every year?
I don't know. I feel like he's also been hurt a lot too, hasn't he?
He's constantly injury problems. Yeah. But Darius Slayton might end up being the top pass or top target getter in this offense now. Him or Wan'Dale Robinson. Going forward, obviously Jackson Dart, but that offensive line without Andrew Thomas is fucking terrible. I know because I watched my team play them in week 1. And as good as Cam Scatterbo is, he's not going to break off a huge run. He's not like an explosive run threat. And Tyrone Tracy still out and probably not going to see a lot of the field when he comes back.
No, probably not. Maybe Jalen Hyatt picks up some slack. Who I was super high on, and
you and I are the last 2 people on the Jalen Hyatt bus. I still have him in some dynasty league somewhere.
Yeah. Now that they're hurt at receiver, they don't have anything to write about at tight end. No offense to Theo Johnson or Daniel Bellinger, but so that's not great. I don't know. I think if maybe they can keep games close, defensively, they could do something. Like, let's go ahead and just give a shout out to Abdul Carter, who has looked pretty legit, I think, so far. Had a 92.1 pressure grade, had 8 pressures, 18.8% win rate. Pretty good. I mean, I know there were some injuries to the Chargers offensive line, so that does factor in.
Yeah, but Abdul Carter's also been good in every game so far.
Mm-hmm. They moved him more outside, like a
Dexter Lawrence had touchdown, or almost had touchdown. Dexter Lawrence came so close to getting a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, let me ask you this. So we brushed over it briefly about how important special teams has been. Was the extra point block return for the 2-point the weirdest play that you saw all weekend in the Cowboys-Packers game?
Yeah, that's a weird one. You rarely ever see that happen.
And also, I don't know off the top of my head who returned it, but the pass got blocked like into his hands. Like, it looked like a video game glitch. Like, the pass got blocked from the middle of the line and then just kind of appeared in his hands, and he took off at full speed. I'm trying to look up who it was. That play stands out in my head. That's like everyone loved the revertal last year. To me, the extra point block return is going to stick in my head for a long time because it just looked so weird.
While you look that up, oh, Marquise Bell. I was going to give a shout out to real quick someone I probably should have given an award to, but forgot to, and that's Marion Hampton, dude.
Yeah, big Marion Hampton
baby. Yeah, huge day, over 100 yards. Was it? It was 128, and his long was 54, and that was on 12 attempts. 12 attempts, people.
Big week for this running back draft class.
Yes, that's true.
Marion Hampton, Ashton Genty, Cam Scatterbo, even Bill Krosky-Merritt, who didn't pop off the page, but is finally like he's starting to climb the ranks and the love he deserves for his production. Mike, make the case for the Panther season being over.
They're the Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
Time to move on. No.
What if I told you that they were 3rd place in their own division?
That's true. I get that. That is a good point that I didn't take into account. But it's just like they lose the 2 games to open the season. And then they have this weird win against Atlanta. 30-0. I think that was more about Atlanta than it was Carolina, unfortunately. And then just got absolutely dog walked by the Patriots this week. Who, by the way, I will be fair, going into the year, I was actually pretty high on the Patriots. I think they're going to make the playoffs, and Drake May, check the numbers, check the tapes, playing phenomenal. And then go check Caleb Williams tape after that. So he's been playing great, and teams doesn't have it. Like, it's just too, even if we take that Atlanta game into account and say they played great, and they did play well, they're inconsistent because they don't have the talent. And I don't think I see things getting much better from here on out. They got to play the Cowboys. They got to play the Bills. They got to play the what?
Cowboys they're gonna put up 35 points against the Cowboys. It'll be the Ted McMillan revenge game. He's gonna have 200 yards. It's the Cowboys.
Why is it a revenge game for Ted McMillan?
Because he didn't get enough pass work in this game. It's a revenge against the Panthers.
Oh, okay, against his own team. Gotcha. Yeah. But they also have Bills on the schedule. Packers play the Falcons again in Atlanta. I think things might go differently. Niners, Rams, Bucks twice. Like, they're done.
I also want to add to this list whoever loses Jets Dolphins tonight.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I got a couple ones that are a little bit spicier. Want to get your temperature on these?
Mm-hmm.
First, the Cincinnati Bengals, who are currently sitting second in the AFC North.
Yeah, I probably should have put them. That makes sense because it sounds like even if Burrow does come back, it's going to be really late into the year.
Yeah,
right.
Because he had to get toe surgery, and as an expert in toe surgery, personally, it takes a little bit to come back. But they're sitting at second in their division, so it's kind of spicy. I mean, I get it. Like, Jake Browning is very bad at football, and they are possibly going to get demolished by a resurgent Denver defense tonight. Like, Nick Bonito, I'm not being unrealistic here. If you can find a line for Nick Bonito over 3.5 sacks, I wouldn't hate that bet.
No, you have to see. I know DraftKings, you can bet multiple sacks. They kind of cap how many you can do, but usually for the good players, you can take it up to 2, sometimes 3. So
the Bengals currently on the season have scored 58 points. There is not a single team in the NFC who has scored less points than them. Every team in the NFC has scored more points than the Bengals. Now in the AFC, they have scored more than 2 other teams. Do you think you can guess those teams, Mike?
Yeah, they score more than the Browns.
Uh-huh.
And the Dolphins.
Titans.
Dolphins have 56 points. I cheated and looked at it.
Okay, so 3 teams.
Yeah.
My other team, that's a spicy meatball. Season over for the Houston Texans? They're 1-3. 2 games behind in their own division.
Yeah.
If we assume 2 AFC West teams make the playoffs and 2 AFC North teams make the playoffs between the Steelers and Ravens.
And me personally, I'm putting 2 AFC East teams in because I think the Pats get in.
So that would leave 0 playoff spots for a second AFC South team. And that's also, by the way, when I say 2 AFC West teams, there's a chance it's 3 AFC West teams. Like, I'm being generous by saying only 2.
Oh, yeah. There's a very strong chance that's going to be a 3 going in.
Is the Texan season over, Mike?
So I will say this. They're down in their division right now.
Mm-hmm.
But the Colts might not be what the Colts were. So that could be 2 potential wins there. I guess the big problem is going to be getting by the Liam Cohen-led Jags, who I'm all in on. So that could be tough. Their schedule is not the easiest. Even with them, the funny thing is, we're like, oh, they found some offense. Yeah, it was thanks to 20 points in the 4th, so it was only a total of 26 points. Did they find their offense? It might be over. You might be right. I mean, what's his face is on. I think I put him on the hot seat, didn't I? Yeah.
They have allowed the least points in football so far. Seriously, by a good margin. They've allowed the least points. They've allowed 51 points. Their next closest team is the Denver Broncos with 64 points.
The defense is playing great.
Defense is playing great. And they're still 1-3.
Mm-hmm.
They've allowed 51 points and they're 1-3.
They play Baltimore next week. That will help the offensive output probably.
Yeah. Bet the over in that game.
Yeah.
So are you in on the on being out on the Texans?
I'm not going to say completely out,
Okay.
but it's definitely leaning that way. Like I think another loss, one or yeah, oh, that's dumb. That's just how the world goes. If they fall to like 1-5,
If they go,
no,
if
1-4,
if they lose, I think personally, if they lose their next 13 games, I'm out.
yeah, that's scorching hot take. Their next 4 are Ravens, Seahawks, Niners, Broncos. I would have to see a 3-1 out of those 4, and I don't think it happens. So yeah, I think Texans are out. I'll go ahead and agree with you.
So our definite cross-off teams: Titans, Giants, Saints, Browns, Raiders, Panthers. Go ahead and not take any of them to win the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And our a little bit spicy, but we're crossing them off: Texans, Bengals. You got any other hot take ones you want to throw out there?
No, I think we covered them all because the ones that are really bad we don't really have to talk about. Vikings.
Yeah, I got too much faith in Kevin O'Connell. Like it's my blind spot. I would marry that man if he asked me to.
Yeah.
How many coaches would you marry? I think I'd marry all 32, to be honest with you. Now that I say that out loud.
How long is McCarthy going to be out for? Do you have a timetable?
He might be back this week. Well, he won't be back this week because they're going to play in Germany or something. So maybe when they get back.
Wait, they're going to play in Germany after just playing in Ireland?
Yeah, they're playing. They're the first team to play 2 overseas games back to back in 2 different countries.
Jesus, that's There's some markets that it's like, what is there really a cost benefit for how much it's spending us to try to break into this market? There's people in the financial department at NFL who are way smarter than me, so the answer is obviously yes because they keep doing it. But I just don't know why they keep trying this thing with the Europe games.
Do you think Carson Wentz gets stopped because people think he's Prince Harry when he's walking around in Ireland and Germany?
I think so.
Or do you think he gets stopped because people think he's you?
We don't look alike, and I'm offended that you say that.
You guys both just have red beards is really where the comparison starts. Him, I think he looks more like Brock Bowers if he shaved clean than he looks like you.
Mm.
Nothing else? No other teams on the cross-off list there, Mike?
No.
All right. Well, let's close it out here. We're running a little long, so we'll do this a little more abridged. You want to throw out a Monday Night Football best bet and oddly specific prediction for each game? You don't have to have a bet for each game, just an oddly specific prediction for each game.
Okay, yeah. I forgot to grab a bet, so I'll have to wing it on that one, but that's what we do. Fuck it, we'll do it live.
I can go first if you want to look.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I don't have a lot of faith in this Denver Broncos offense, and I definitely don't have a lot of faith in the Cincinnati Bengals' ability to not get sacked a million times. So I honestly think the best bet is just under 44.5 points. You're paying some juice. It's minus 115 right now. But I'm not even going weird with it, not doing anything out of the norm. I would just go under 44.5. If you want, they won't let you parlay it because it's one of those things where one of those bets typically leads to the other. Oh, you can actually parlay it. Taking Bengals plus 7.5 and under 44.5 in the game pays out plus 232.
Very good.
Usually, I should say not usually. The underdog is more likely to cover in games that hit the under.
Oh.
So there you go.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
That tracks. My best bet, which I quickly found, first thing that came to mind, was Pat Surtain plus 500 to get an interception.
Oh,
stupid talented. He's got to get going. He's eventually going to become like he is what he is. Maybe he hasn't had a scorching hot start to the year, but let's go ahead and throw that. Jake Browning makes a mistake and throws his way. Pat Surtain pick.
Well, if we've learned anything from the last few weeks, it's that he's going to throw Riley Moss's way a million times.
Yeah.
My dad's best bet texted this to me earlier today.
Okay.
Outside linebacker Jonathan Cooper. Anytime touchdown. Care to guess the odds on that?
Like what, plus like 10,000 or something?
Close, plus 7,500.
Okay, yeah.
So there you go.
Probably going to hit now.
That means that one's probably going to hit. So if you're going to bet any of them, bet that one because he has an uncanny ability to hit those. Mike, oddly specific predictions for each game. I think for let's start with Broncos Cincinnati. I think I'm going to stick with my Nick Bonito over 4.5 or over 3.5 sacks.
That's going, yeah.
That line is so bad, man. Maybe is this gonna finally be the Chase Brown breakout game?
No, his numbers are so bad. Remember
Yeah.
going into I made a comment going into the year where I was like, Chase Brown, like on all these like fantasy like rankings, is like up there just because he's going to be the lead back. But that doesn't mean anything when you're behind an offensive line made of like tinfoil.
Yeah, and you were right, and I was wrong because I drafted him in
Yeah.
fantasy.
Oh, you did? Okay, yeah. So that makes absolutely no sense. I'm gonna say oddly specific prediction: Bengals under 250 total yards of offense.
Bengals under 250 total yards of offense, and Nick Bonito over 3.5 sacks. If you combine that together into a parlay, I don't know what it pays out because I didn't bother looking for either one of those odds. Mike, the other game.
I'll say you can't bet like total yards of offense. At least not in any book I've seen.
That's because you don't know where to look. The other
Gotta
game,
go
Mike,
offshore.
The juggernaut New York Jets against the juggernaut Miami Dolphins in a game of who gets fired first.
Yeah.
You want to go first on the odds prediction here, Mike?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say oddly specific prediction.
That is the game. The name of the game is all these specific predictions, Mike.
I'm gonna say Justin Fields is back and starting, right? Or is he still out? No, he's back and starting.
Yeah, I believe he's starting.
All right, I'm gonna say Justin Fields throws for more yards, throws for more touchdowns, runs for more yards, and runs for I won't say touchdowns, but he has more rushing yards, passing touchdowns, and passing yards than Tua Tagovailoa.
I'd be surprised if somehow Tua had more rushing yards than Justin Fields, but the other ones those
True.
are a little spicy.
A little spicy.
Let's see. All these specific predictions. Since my last one, I went a little bit more measurable and mercurial, some would say. I will go Tyreek Hill gives up on a route when he is solo cammed, and it's all that Troy Aikman and Joe Buck talk about for like 3 plays. It'll be like either like an RPO that Tyreek Hill gives up on, or a route where he comes in motion across the field and then just kind of trots out like 3 or 5 yards. Maybe like a 3rd and 12 or something.
So once these two games get going, their kickoffs are an hour apart, obviously. But once they're happening at the same time, between the two, which one are you more likely to have on the main screen?
So it's going to be a competition of how close these games are. Because while I have some affinity for the Broncos based off of my father's fandom, he got his Super Bowl, so I don't live and die by the Broncos the same way I do with some of my other personal relationship teams, for instance, the Buffalo Bills. So there's not a part of me that's like, oh, I got to watch the Broncos to make sure they can grind this one out. So if like the Broncos are up like 14 and Chase Brown's sitting on the field crying and Jake Browning's playing with butterflies, I'll probably flip over to Jets Dolphins. But if, right away it just turns out that Aaron Glenn is cooking and the Jets are up 20 points, I'll watch Bengals Broncos. So it depends on who's in a more competitive or more interesting game. I will say that there is a small chance, if both these games are just complete blowouts, that I just go and rewatch The Wolf of Wall Street instead.
That's not a bad time. It's a good movie.
It's a good movie.
Actually, I just rewatched that like probably 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I just saw DiCaprio in one battle after another, and now I'm like, oh, I got to watch all these DiCaprio movies.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got, Mike. I actually had one more thing, but we ran out of time, so oh well.
Yeah,
what are you gonna do? Did you have any plugs on your way out the door?
Yeah, follow me at Sound Mike on Twitter and Bluesky. I was actually during college football this week. I was actually active on Twitter, throwing out some takes as things were happening. So
I thought you were like posting nudes.
Yeah, so follow me so you can see what I say about games as they're going on, and then you can roast me in comments about how I'm wrong.
There you go.
And then get ready. On Saturday is going to be out tomorrow, the preview for this past week. And then later this week, you'll obviously get, all right, wait, did I say preview? Recap from this past week coming out tomorrow. Later this week will be the preview for a slate that games that is not quite as hot as last week, but there's always good stuff to find.
You can follow me at Talent Alone. There's a bug keeps flying around. Talent Alone Adam on Twitter, formerly known as X. Follow me at Kotan Film Pod on Bluesky. We will stream at some point this week. Mike and I will figure that out when he buys his ticket for one battle after another. We don't have any pay-per-view things to cover this week, right? No wrestling this week? Yeah.
No.
We'll have a pay-per-view. 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 We' Okay, just double checked. Yeah. The next one's Crown Jewel in Perth.
Okay,
Interesting.
good. It's in Perth, so we'll cover it.
Yeah. You can check us out on talentalone.com. That's where we post all of our written and whatchamacallit work. This week, I am, goddamn it, going to figure out why that NBA League Pass watchability rankings is still stuck to the front page. Watch our stream at Talent Alone Podcast on YouTube. We'll tweet out a link before we go live there. I will make a better thumbnail this time than I did last time, and I will make sure there's game audio. We're going to try to be grand champions in NFL Blitz on the N64.
Like six teams down, right? After
Six
last
teams
stream?
down, 24 to go. We're going to be doing that for a while.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just do a marathon stream. Just clutch it out.
For charity.
For charity. The charity of us being able to buy bigger cars. And if you like video podcasts, you like having something to watch while you listen to the podcast, we do post this on YouTube, once again, at Town Alone Podcast, usually with some kind of interesting little gameplay loading screen, because I always had an affinity for when you would leave a game on a loading screen and it would start auto-playing. So usually something of that nature going on. And with that, Mike, would you like to give an SEC-based shout-out?
SEC-based shout-out. Shout-out to Trinidad Champagne Chambliss.
Is that his real name? Is any of that a nickname?
No, Trinidad Chambliss is his real name.
Okay, so the Champagne was the
The
nickname.
Champagne, yeah, because
Yeah,
he's...
see, I didn't know any of his name, so I was like, is he from Trinidad and his name's Champagne Chambliss?